victory. Nor would he let these nameless men take the ships beached on the shore, especially the one that used to belong to his father. Dreki, or Dragon, was her name. Even from this distance, Hakon could see her tall sides and sweeping prow, towering over the other ships resting beside her.
"We should attack now, while all is still in chaos," growled Egil.
"Aye, bring them forward," Hakon responded. Egil flashed a grin full of rotten teeth and moved off to ready the men, including Hakon's allies, Jarl Sigurd and Tura. Little by little, his warriors crept through the forest and fanned out on either side of Hakon, their weapons drawn but held low. No one wore helmets or metal armor, for fear the sound and sheen would alert the enemy. Within the camp, the warriors were oblivious to their peril, for all were intent on leaving. Hakon pulled his sea axe from its sheath and squeezed its leather grip. It had a shorter blade than his long sword, which he had named Quernbiter, and was a better weapon for the close-quarters fighting of the shield wall. Slowly he slipped his arm into the straps of his shield, wincing as his bruised forearm slid across the wood. He exhaled slowly, steeling himself for the coming bloodshed.
"Loose!"
came Egil's command from somewhere back in the trees. Arrows arced through the morning air, seeking their prey with a wicked hiss. In the camp, 3 warriors crumpled to the ground. Another 2 grabbed at the missiles now protruding from their limbs. Screams shattered the morning calm. Seagulls scattered with angry cries. Hakon charged from the underbrush as a second volley of arrows sent even more men to their death. Shield up and short sword ready, he sprinted, his aching body now alive with adrenaline, his battle cry joining the yells of his sword brothers who charged beside him. Ahead of him, Hakon's friend, Turolf, hacked with his axe at the twine holding the gate shut. Hakon kicked the gate open and charged into the camp, shield high, ready for the missiles he knew would come. And come they did. An arrow ricocheted off his shield rim and lodged in the turf by his feet. A spear followed, slamming into the center of his shield and sending a stab of pain across his forearm. He yanked it free and moved on. "Shield wall!" Hakon yelled at his men. With practiced skill, his front rank came together beside him, overlapping their shields with his. To his right stood Egil, to his left the young giant Turolf. Behind them, the second rank brought its shields up and readied itself. Jarl Sigurd's men fanned out to his right. Tura's line moved left. Before them, the enemy rallied around their leader, a brute of a man who carried only a sword and shield, and wore neither armor nor helm. They, too, formed a shield wall, though in the face of Hakon's army it looked pathetically small. Still, they did not lack in courage. They pounded their weapons on the shield rims, and urged the attackers to come and die on their blades. "Forward!" Hakon yelled. His men advanced, their shields locked and weapons ready to strike. The enemy took a step backward, retreating with surprising order. The camp women scattered like rats in a burning hall. Some made for the ships, others for the safety of the trees. Hakon's army ignored them, concentrating instead on the threat aligned before them. "Faster!" implored Hakon. He could not let them reach their ships, his ships. Hakon's warriors began to jog, doing their best to keep their shields even. The enemy continued their retreat. A few of their less seasoned warriors broke ranks and ran for the ships. The leader bellowed for the others to hold the line. He was not a man afraid to die, for despite the overwhelming numbers coming at him, he kept his men focused and ready. The lines met with a thunderous clash that echoed across the beach. Hakon stared at the youthful face of the warrior before him. After the battle, he would remember that there had been fear in the boy's eyes, but in the heat of battle such things didn't register. All that mattered was surviving. And so Hakon stabbed over his shield rim at that face. His blade struck something, though just what he could not tell, for all was chaos and jostling. He pulled his sea axe back, just as a spear point slid past his shoulder.